Hey, welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. I want to thank everybody for all your likes, shares, and subscribes, and for all your support while I go through this difficult time in my life. Um, Again, I really appreciate all the love. You know, we never get enough of it, especially, being that we're on a shadow channel, right? Channel, a shadow channel is one that talks about our wounds, our psychological and our emotional blockages that prevent us from manifesting. And the reason why they prevent us from manifesting is because they block us from our true self. And the true self is a higher self. See, you're born perfect. You are unconditional love. And so, whenever you go through an experience that makes you feel disempowered, makes you feel not good enough, makes you feel like you want to reject that part of yourself, well, that's where there's a shadow. And so, when we have shadows, we tend to create, again, the psychological and emotional behaviorisms that are what block us. Now, we're not even aware a lot of times of what we're doing, what's causing it. We don't know because it's all subconscious. So that's why we live karmic themes. And that's why I like to do these type of readings. I like to do these type of readings because they're empowering. It puts the power back in you, realizing that you are the creator of your life. So when you get into a relationship that's karmic with a person that makes you feel bad about yourself, well, there's always a lesson. There's always a lesson to be learned. And there's also not just a lesson, you have to learn how to ground that lesson by integrating the lesson. And that will help you transmute that negative energy. Because whenever you're around someone that makes you feel bad, a karmic, someone that makes you not feel good about yourself, it creates obviously negative energy. That energy just doesn't dissipate because you forget about it. That energy is what becomes part of your energy vibration. So we always want to have a high vibration, and that's by becoming the the same vibration of unconditional love, because that's really your true energy. So again, know that this channel is all about healing trauma, any type of trauma. Death is a trauma. I mean, we see that when someone's close to us and then they die, they're no longer, it's a shock. We don't really feel that shock right away, right? It's like you go on autopilot and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like we remember, and we remember little things trigger our subconscious mind and we get emotional. And so it's the same thing when you have a spiritual block when it comes to fear of success, fear of abandonment, fear of any type of fear. Again, that of the perception that makes you want to detach from yourself is always what needs to be integrated. There's always a lesson.
From Instagram, Master Psychic Healer Taryn Stoddard sent a reel by
Yep.
Ronaldo for music. And from Business Suite, Healthy Fandom, to Master Psychic Healer.
I don't know why that's like, again, those such weird things. I bet you that's my husband on the other side, because my phone's on silent. So why all of a sudden, you know, the energy? Okay. Lies and illusions. Lies and illusions is going to be the underlining energy, that is influencing why everyone's doing what they're doing. And I feel like you're in connection with someone that is pretending that they don't care, is, creating a facade that they don't care that you're not in their life. but they're living a lie because they don't have control over their life, is what I feel like. So they've created a lot of illusions because they don't they've never created themselves. And what that means is that we all find ourselves, and we find ourselves by going out into the world and playing, per se, by trying things, by connecting to different people, different situations. And we, that's how we form the things that we like and the things that we don't like. And where we put our time and our energy and our focus and our money is what grows. So I don't feel like this person really ever created themselves, which means that they grew up in an environment that there was a lot of trauma. And so this person was so busy surviving, they again don't really know who they are. And so they create facades, and they create facades to kind of give the illusion that they're successful, give the illusion that they're happy. I feel like you met this person while they were living again in this facade. And but the problem is that they met you and there's a real connection, emotional connection. Now understand, when you are busy living lies and creating illusions, you're in the ego. You're not in the emotional mind. So I believe that this person played a lot of played a lot of games. They didn't want this type of connection at all because, again, it didn't fit in with the illusion that they're creating. And the illusion that they created is that they live this grandiose life, that they're single and that they're strong and they're their boss man or woman, that they don't need anyone, that they're a powerhouse, that they're someone big within the community. And so I feel as if, yes, they are invested in their community and they are someone that may like run a business. However, they run that business with a lot of other people. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that are pulling strings, whether that's family, whether that's again business partners, and there's definitely a karmic that this person doesn't want to be with. So again, they create the illusion that they're this strong person that's independent. So that might look like they always post images on like Facebook or Instagram, like they're by themselves and they're by themselves on the golf course. I see, and like, oh, and then, or on their boat, or again, doing something that displays like they want to create the persona of their life. And so, again, the illusions, but the truth of the matter is, I don't believe that this person has freedom in their life. And I feel like what's driving them is actually anger. And they're angry because they feel guilty. And they feel guilty because they never came back and apologized to you. They also feel guilty because they know that you did not deserve how they treated you. How they treated you was they played a lot of games because you did not fit in with their persona. First of all, you wouldn't be able to even come into their life because they don't have control of their life. And then they also didn't want to like be blamed. They know obviously you're gonna like criticize them. You're actually gonna call them out on their behavior, and they didn't want to do that. This person has a lot of shame. And what's underneath that shame is a lot of sorrow and sadness. And down deep inside, they're lonely because the people that they're attached to, there really isn't an emotional connection anymore to these people. I feel like this person a long time ago realized that no one was really their friend. Everybody was really using them. Now, at one time, I feel like they started the connection or the business or whatever it was that they were doing, the project, with people that they loved, people that they considered family. The problem is that this person was the one that was really running the business, was doing everything. So in that, this person began to heal because it's a grounding process. They got to see themselves differently. And so again, the people that were surrounding them were really investing in them, but they're of a lower vibrational frequency. So while this person was evolving, it would trigger the lower vibrational people, which actually want this person to be subservient to them because they're always in fear that they're going to want their own life one day. And that's not going to be able to maintain the financial income, which is really what I feel. So that this person, like I said, is really lonely because they're connected to people that pretty much just want to be connected for the gain, whatever that is, whether it's financial, whether it's recognition, whether it's something, but it's not them. So they're lonely, and then they feel bad because they didn't see this right away. And so with you, they were extremely stubborn after their betrayal. So they, again, had created a facade of who they are, and then in order to maintain it, play with you a little bit, want to keep you on the hook, and then when you're seeing what's going on, they're not apologizing, they're not doing anything to fix it. If anything, they're being stubborn. So this person right now, I feel like they're in a place where they feel hopeless because they doubt quite highly that you're going to take you're going to take them back. Because, first of all, they don't own their own life. They don't have freedom, which says something about how strong that they are. It's number one. Number two, they don't even know what they really would like. And it's like they have an idea of, yeah, they like you right now because of what they perceive about you. But relationships are something that happen over time. Trust is what happens over time. This person doesn't trust themselves. They don't know themselves. That's why they stay connected to people to create the illusion, because they don't believe that they can actually create it on their own, which the irony is they can. They're the ones that are creating the support for everyone else. So again, this is what happens when you surround yourself with people on a lower vibration. People on a lower vibration will never give you credit. People on a lower vibration won't make you feel like, will never let you have your moment. They'll make you feel as if you have to. And it's because, again, they're a lack, and it's the words that they use, and it's the little things. So this person is continually used to get gaslit a lot because they refuse to listen to their own intuition. So they doubted themselves and stayed connected to those people long after. And that was because they were stubborn. They didn't want to come to you and apologize. Part of it is pride. Part of it is also admitting that their life really isn't their own. And this person is really uncomfortable right now because it's like, it was one thing when they were living by their ego, right? They were going out, hooking up with people here for a good time, not a long time. And other people were puppeteering them, but they were still feeding their ego because in order for them to puppeteer, they had to, again, say, oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad. I don't know what I would do without you. That was such a great job. No one does it like you do. Again, feeding the ego. And the whole time, what they're really just doing is tripping this person up, confusing this person, and your person was not tapped into their intuition. So going with you is a lot more difficult than staying with what's familiar, even though with what's familiar is really becoming uncomfortable because they've experienced unconditional love. They've experienced a connection, a soul's connection. Now, that doesn't mean that you're supposed to be with them if this person's an asshole. However, understand, Spirit says, I don't care whether you are or you're not, but you may be the catalyst that helps this person leave their situation, because their situation is bad. However, they're stuck in their ego because of how they treated you, which, again, being a martyr, giving too much to these people long after they knew that those people didn't care about them. Again, safer to stay around who you know than to go into a new relationship when when you don't know who you are, when you stagnate yourself because you stay connected to people that stagnate you. So again, this person doesn't trust. Again, inconsistent. Because they knew that they didn't give you enough, that they were not consistent. I feel like this person would come into your life, and the moment that it would get real serious, they were back out. And it was very confusing for you because you said, we have this connection. Why are you in and out of my life like a ping pong ball? It's like, I feel like you got tired of it. And also, you're like, if you notice, there's a devil and an angel on here. It's like, hey, when we're together, I feel like there's a real divine connection. However, you're not around me for a lot of time. And in order for them to cover themselves from being a martyr, right? It's, again, martyr makes you feel good because, again, you can trick yourself and make yourself feel needed. But it's really so that this person stays connected, stays safe. So I feel like the inconsistency was also a way to not make you feel safe because this person is not a happy person, and hurt people. So I feel like you felt like this person had like two sides to them, that yes, there was a deep soul's connection, but on another side there was a devil connection, and that's true because for them to stay in this energy for long periods of time, which is very depleting. No one really wants to do this. They do this forever because they are not strong within themselves. They're in avoidance stage. They don't believe in themselves. Again, and then the irony is the people that they are connected to, that they are martyring, that are keeping them there. And they're doing it all psychologically and emotionally. That's why this person is lonely. They're finally getting it. Why do I feel lonely? Why do I feel lonely? And it's because those people being connected to them were like, oh yeah, like you don't give this, making it not, they're not allowing this person to really be able to be consistent. I feel like every time they spend too much time with someone, they tend to interfere. And again, they're unaware. And that's what I was saying. It's like because psychologically and emotionally, they're being gaslit, And so I feel like in a way for them to be with you, they had to make it like as if you were unaware, right, of what's going on, because they knew if you really knew what was going on, you'd be like, you don't have your own life. You're inconsistent with me because you're feeding somewhere else. So I don't want that because there's not enough. And there's a lacking. And you don't care that it's unfair to me. You're just looking out for yourself and you don't care that I'm on the hook. So it's again, it's when we see this a lot of times when people get married and the parents of one of the people are too involved, and where now the child whose parent it is needs to set boundaries, needs to again cut the apron strings, but then they don't. So now the bride hates the mother-in-law or vice versa because they meddle. They're too much. Well, it's the same thing in this situation where your person's not strong within themselves. I don't even feel like they're even supposed to be, they're definitely not supposed to be giving us much time, energy, and resources to these people. But I feel like the more that this person wanted to have their own life, the more that they would pull them back in and make them give and give. And it was almost like unaware, making them feel guilty, making them feel as if they have to spend the extra time, making them feel bad if they spend any time with themselves. And so that's a person, again, you're connected to someone that has a very poor self-esteem, and that they realize it now. Yeah, and that's why they doubt quite highly that you're gonna even give them another chance, because they wouldn't give themselves another chance. So let's see what the hidden truths are. Actually, do I want to look at the hidden truths or want to look at the triggers? Let me look at the triggers. I'm gonna look at the triggers if I can find the cards. Oh, here they are. I am like all over the place tonight, but I'm pushing through. All right. And that's the energy here, why this person feels hopeless. You feel hopeless. That's again, sometimes the energy is heavy. When you get into the reading and you can feel this person's energy, it's almost like everything doesn't need to be this difficult, but this person's in survival mode. They're connected to people that they're actually afraid of, I feel like. Because remember, they're connected to people that allow them to create the lies and the illusions about their life. So this is what's really manipulating this person. They care a lot about what other people see. And it's so because they don't really, they know that there's a lacking there. There's a real fear that people are going to see what this person's real reality is. The real reality is that they hide behind material things. Abuse, you got tired of the abuse, you had enough, because it's again, it is breadcrumbing, the in out, the inconsistency, the fact that they get triggered when you ask them what's going on, like, and why you're being made to feel as if you're on the back burner all the time. That's abuse. It's psychological abuse, but this person is doing to you kind of what is being done to them. They can't take it out on the people that are doing it to them because, again, their survival. Now you may say survival. Well, first of all, I feel like they're connected through business or through some sort of project, something that is how this person wants to be identified. So again, the people that are like puppeteering this person, have a tremendous amount of power because they know this. And it's almost like, well, your person's like, what can I do? Because if I walk away, then my lifestyle isn't going to look like anything that I portray. And then you're not going to like me anymore. And that's the problem when you build your life on falsehoods. Because eventually you will fall in love. And the truth of the matter is, or even if not fall in love, want to form a real intimate relationship with somebody, and that's based on trust. So it could be just a real close friendship that you want to have, but you're not going to be able to let that person into your life because you're not going to be able to keep up the facade, because with the illusions come a lot of lies. And eventually things don't add up. And if a person is doing this, then they're actually also unconsciously looking for you to be doing it, because people tend to project when they're not healed. So again, I feel like you were like, yeah, and then on top of it, it's like I wouldn't be doing anything wrong, but they would project a lot of their shit onto me as if I did so, as if I was the one that was puppeteering them. And I never got an apology. It's like you never are accountable for what you do. You do what you do, and then I say, you see, I get upset. You kind of get off on it, and then you walk away. And then you come back a certain amount of time, act like it never happened. So it's like you're not validating how I feel. I don't feel like I can be transparent with you. I feel like I can't trust. And by the way, this is when intimacy starts to corrode. This is when trust issues will affect that passion in a relationship, because no one wants to sleep with a person that they don't trust. And it's when people close down. And the thing is, it's like this person doesn't apologize and they create a lot of anger. They trigger a lot of emotions and leave it, but like bring up all this anger, and then you don't get an apology. You're not allowed to talk about it. They don't talk about it. So it just kind of is there, and you're kind of waiting for it to happen again and again. And then it does happen again and again because they don't have control over their life. However, they're not going to show you that after a while. They're going to show you a different facade because, again, being rebellious is better than not than being a puppet. Children. So I feel like for some of you, you feel like if somebody has children, that the children are are able to manipulate, able to like divide you. Again and again, that's martyr. It's giving more to children, but I don't feel like it was that. I feel like maybe your person tries to hide behind their children, right? Hide behind their children. And it's a way to avoid. It's a way that, again, they don't have to give you emotionally. So here it is. It's like you're with somebody that can give to everybody else, but they're not giving you anything, but they say that they have feelings. You feel that they have feelings, but there's a whole shitstorm happening underneath the surface of this person that you know, but you don't know. You just know that they don't have control over their life and you don't really know why. And you just know that it keeps happening. Like it's like a karmic cycle. And of course, it's going to be a karmic cycle with this person because they don't leave. But I feel like for you, you're like, I feel like it's a karmic cycle within me that I keep attracting people that are either married or taken with somebody else, or just can't give me emotionally, and it triggers me, to like think that I can't have love, like where really I know that I can have it. It's like, but I don't know why I keep attracting it. And I'm tired of being excluded again, like not showing up for me, making it like I'm not important. That's the message that you're telling me. That's abuse. It's psychological abuse. When meanwhile, you're telling me that you care about me. When So this person sees all that. That's why they're like, oh, I don't think that I'm gonna be able to fix it, because again, they didn't fix it. And here it is. They know that if there's a connection, you might like have spied on them the way that they spy on you. They, that would have gotten out that, they're out on their boat, they're out golfing again, they have time for hobbies, but they don't have any time for you. They have time to hide behind their children, but they don't have time for you. It's a way of avoidance because they can't really let you in their life, but they want you in their life. And I feel like you called their bluff. You were like, I just got to the point where they never thought I was going to leave because there was such a strong connection. But they weren't giving me anything. They weren't giving me anything, and it was so confusing because I didn't really know why, is what I feel like you thought, because you're like, I can know that this person had feelings for me. Well, the reason why is because their life isn't really their life. Now, this could be that they're connected to a karmic, but I feel like it's a few people. I feel like there's one main ringleader, but I feel like a few people. Now, it could be the Karmic's family, it could be the Karmics, it could be like anybody, but I feel like this person's reputation, they feel is connected. Like if they were to leave, they feel like whoever it is going to crush them. Now, I want to see if we can go any deeper just to see, is there a reason? Like, what does this person really feel for you? What are their plans? What's on a deeper level that they're thinking about? I'm going to just pull 3. Whatever you just cleared helped me to shift to. So they feel very connected to you. And I feel as if the more time that passes, I don't know whether you cleared anything. Maybe you just don't give a shit anymore. And there's no expectation. So this person feels like maybe you're not going to be angry anymore. They can still tap into your energy. Again, it's a very spiritual connection. They have never had that before. And it would have to be in order for this person to get away from these people. I'm going to say these karmic people. It would have to be, because they'd have to be able to see the difference, feel the difference. This person wasn't tapping into their intuition. They were coming from a survival mind, listening to people that really didn't have their best interest at hand, and going along with it for, again, reasons that I said, but eventually they come to the point of, why do I still have feelings though? So again, you called their bluff because you're like, oh, you didn't think that I was going to leave. Well, I did. And this person is like, well, I feel abandoned. So I often feel like everyone lets me down. So it's hard for me to let somebody into my life. It's easier, again, to be with the devil I know. It's easier to be staying stuck, uncomfortable, than taking a chance with you. Because if I really let myself go with you and you don't like me, then I'm not going to have anything. At least right now, I have my facade. I'm able to create the illusion, and I can live in my ego. I can have surface relationships. I just can't really have control of my own life. But this person doesn't realize that they're abandoning themselves because they're not living their true self. They're, again, letting their ego run the show. Their survival, their psychological and emotional survival is reliant on the facade that they create, more than understanding that we're down here to learn that we're expressions of love, and to, in order to really learn it, you have to become it. You have to connect to that. You have to surrender to it. This person is the opposite energy. Don't listen to other people. Trust yourself to know the truth. Again, see, they're like, they know this, but I'm telling you, they know it, but they're struggling. They know it because just because you know it doesn't mean it's easy. Remember, this is survival for them. They have to have an ego death in order for this to happen. For them to really not listen to these people that for so long they listened to these people. I feel like even though they don't like these people, they feel it's not that they don't like them, it's like they grew out of them. They realize that these people are also like coming from place of their survival. They're reliant on them, and they don't want to hurt anyone, but they don't want to feel as if they got to carry everybody. Also, they want their own life. I'm trying to understand how my thoughts create my reality. I know I need to stay positive. Are you? So again, this person is starting to realize that they're the person that is like creating it. They're allowing the people in their life to influence them. And this is what they're seeing. They're saying, wait a minute, like it's me, it's my thoughts, it's my beliefs. And then they're tapping into you and they're saying, are you positive about us? Like, I wonder whether you're positive about us. Because if you're positive about us, then maybe I have some hope to actually break away from these people. Maybe one day I will be able to break away, even though I'm terrified that if you know me, you're not really going to like me once you see that there's really not, I've created a lot of facades in order to be more appealing. I want to talk to you, but I'm not sure I'm ready to share everything and give you the answers you deserve. It's embarrassing for this person. It's embarrassing. What are they going to say? My life isn't my own. I've created a facade. It's like that takes courage. And so it's, again, they know that you're the type of person that's not going to take like half a story, or worse, that they're going to tell you something, leave stuff out, and intuitively you're going to pick up on it. And then you're going to call them out on it because, again, they're embarrassed. They have shame about their situation because they're like, oh my God, how did I allow this to happen? How did I get here? How did I get here? I just wanted to do the right thing, but how did I get here? And how do I get out of it? Almost. And they're like, I can't even explain why I did what I did. And I know I didn't treat you well. This person is like, I have to say something, but how do you come back with this? That's why they doubt that they can fix it. I need to move slowly with this, but trust that I am moving even when it seems that I'm not. this person, like I said, needs to figure shit out. They're like, wait a minute. They were like, it's first of all, it's a mind fuck that they're surrounded by people that they're realizing don't really like them, and they realize because they're like, I feel so lonely. I'm listening to these people. These people they don't bring anything to the table to me. And if anything, I'm the person that's holding everybody up, and I don't really have my life, and I'm not allowed love. I'm not allowed my own life. So it's not that they're not thinking about you, but it's that like they're gonna have to break free, and God knows what the consequences are. This person knows that there's going to be consequences, not just that their ego is going to be shattered, but are they going to lose money? Like they're connected to these people financially. There's something again, what there's a lot that this person has to process, and they have to be ready to go through, but they're also seeing how they contributed. How the hell did I get here? And who are these people? Who the hell am I connected to? Why am I connected to these people? Why don't I have control of my life? So it's almost like a come to Jesus moment that this person like awakens. But you have to say, it's again, I feel like because they have feelings for you, and hey, you didn't stick around. They thought that they were going to keep you on the hook. You were like, oh no, I'm going to call your bluff. You think that it's okay to treat me this way? You think that you got it in the bag already, do you? Well, no, I don't. And that's why this person feels the way that they do. I know I need to release attachments with karmic people. Okay, we're going to end this here. With karmic people, I'm creating a plan to leave him or her. Here you go, right here. Like I said, they're figuring it out. Literally. Right now, as we speak, they're figuring it out. They know that they're moving slow. They want you to be patient with them. They know they made a hot mess, but they're like, at this point, either it's unconditional love and you really are my person. You're going to be able to forgive me. You're going to be able to understand. You're able. Now, this might be a pipe dream, but whatever it is, it's giving this person encouragement to leave these people. So, which is what the divine has orchestrated at this time, says, this connection is a divine one. So it's like this person, like it would have to be because they're in fear. They're in total fear. And we have to say, why did you connect with this person? Like, why would you attract this person? Whether you're going to be with them or not, what's the spiritual lesson? Because that's really what's most important. Because collectively, some of you guys are going to be like, no, you lied to me the whole time. You came to me before you were actually out of a situation, which I think that they were out of a situation. However, they were still like pretending that they were in a situation. And that's what the problem is. It's like they were connected to a bunch of people. So the thing is, it's like this person, so for those of you that want to be with this person, it doesn't matter. Like again, you've attracted this person because of blocks. And I'm gonna say that even though this person's coming back, because they didn't have control of their life, they're insecure. Why are they insecure? And what were you supposed to learn from being being connected to someone that's insecure that made you feel undervalued? Disassociation. These are the inner child wound cards, by the way. And so our shadows many times happen in childhood. And when we have disassociation, it means that there was severe trauma. It means that you went through an experience and you don't remember parts of that experience because you detached. And in the detachment, you don't have any feeling about it, meaning emotionally, it's like you don't care one way or the other. You're just kind of numb about it. It's almost like now, when you recall the situation, you remember parts of it, And it's almost like you're watching someone else go through the experience, even though you know that it's you, you just don't have a feeling about it. So that happens again. That happens because your mind literally goes into shock and you detach from yourself as a survival mechanism. And like if you don't feel it, well, then you don't really fully process the situation because the mind is all about survival. And so if the mind says, well, that trauma, we died from that, or that made us feel inadequate, that made us feel not good enough, that trauma made you not feel safe, then what happens is that you wind up creating masks in order to 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 shadow those wounds, if that makes sense. So I feel as if you went through severe trauma, and in that it was very confusing when you go through this type of trauma when you're a young child. When you're a young child and you have trauma like this, it's usually because a mother or father is I want to say is not making you feel safe, and that could be they don't take care of you. They can be as little as they don't take care of you, where you don't feel like there's enough food, there's not enough support, or it could be something as severe as you were sexually abused. And usually it's the second one. It's like that you went through severe trauma where you didn't feel safe. Now, sometimes if you were beaten, if you were again hit really bad, beaten, you will have the same energy almost as if you were sexually abused because it is betrayal. I know that because when I used to get readings, I was never sexually abused, but I was beaten, I was victimized in that way. And it always came up that I was sexually abused, which I wasn't. So I know with that type of energy, it's extremely confusing because, first of all, you're not able to process what you're feeling. You don't know what you're feeling because the disassociation comes from that. And what I see here is you are connected to a person that in order for them to survive, they are detached from themselves. For a very long time, they were on autopilot. Their life was fine. They were fine living behind the illusion. They were fine until they actually felt love. So again, sometimes it's easier to live. A lot of times it's easier to live disassociated. It means that you're there, but you're not emotionally there. And so I feel like that was a trauma. You had parents that were there, but emotionally that they weren't there. So they couldn't provide for you all the time. And that was very confusing for you. And so you became a loner, someone that figured it out. I think that loner is actually a gift, though. I'm going to tell you why. Loners have good intuition. They usually do because they spend a lot of time by themselves. They have a very rich internal life, and not many people can, actually understand them, first of all. They understand after the fact. They're usually very creative, and people don't see their vision. They don't see their vision or understand their vision until like it's almost manifested, is what I'm trying to get at. So I feel like they have a lot of creativity that came from the fact that you grew up in an environment that didn't make you feel safe, and so you escaped into into the creative realm, and in that a lot of times you have to be a loner, right? That's how we find ourselves, and that's where how you found hope, which is another spiritual gift, and it gave you space to create. And so I feel like during this time, it's that you connected to this person because they have the same trauma, detachment, disassociation. Now they are reliving a karmic cycle where people again have more control over their life and they don't have their best interests. So there's a lot of fear there. They're actually reliving that victimization where I feel like you experienced it yourself. And it's something also that I feel like has been handed down in your life where people have had more control over maybe like your parents, like maybe your mom, like her parents had too much control over her, family members if I had too much, and it wasn't a good control. It was one of dominance. It was one that made you feel bad. Again, generational karma is that when parents have a lot of stress and they haven't learned how to deal with stress. So they take out their frustration on their children. They don't make their children feel safe. They ridicule them. They belittle them. They don't support them. They don't love them. They don't nurture them. So what winds up happening is with severe disassociation, which happens when again there's trauma, psychological and emotional trauma that is so severe, we detach. We go like literally almost like black out and we don't remember. So in that space is the imagination realm, the same part as the imagination realm. So I feel like you're someone that's very spiritual, you're someone that's very psychic, and again, happen to be a loner. People don't really get you all the time. And that relationships were confusing. So I just feel as if you attracted this person to actually they are kind of a mirror to who you are. Know their behaviorisms of how they react to their trauma isn't the same, but your wounds are the same. It's just this person, like I said, is learning how to like work through and stand on their own 2 feet and break away from these karmic people where I feel like you've already learned how to master it. So I feel like it was to stand in your truth because there is a spiritual connection here. It's not like there isn't. I just feel like this person, it like said, needed a lot of spiritual healing and the universe had to get involved. And that's why the universe conspired to bring you into their life so that they could um so that they could break away from these karmic people, but it's scary, like I said. And so in the space that this person wasn't around, I feel like you created. I feel like you nurtured yourself, which is what you always need to do when you again didn't get the love and the support that you grew up with, and again are connected to people that aren't giving you anything. So you had to reparent yourself, and reparenting yourself is not just nurturing yourself, but it is creating yourself. And you create yourself by becoming yourself. And I feel like that's what you did. And that also, by the way, helps you heal disassociation because a lot of times we're not going to remember the elements of the trauma. It just happens. I mean, we remember parts, but not parts, and that's what called fragmentation is called. It's like in shamanism, when they say the shamanism found the fragmented part, is the part of self that one has detached from. And it's they usually are able to, soul quest and tell you the experience that created that. I mean, they should anyway. That's something that I do. So I know that it's again, when we're talking about disassociation, detachment, we all tend to have it. And if we don't have it in childhood, we'll get will go through experience in adolescence or in our adult years. Many times we have many experiences that create that energy, and that energy needs to be integrated because one has detached emotionally, so they don't even know. This person has learned that it's abandonment. I feel like for you, it was to not abandon yourself, and you didn't do that. You nurtured yourself. So you had integrated the spiritual lesson, which I feel gave this person some sort of inspiration to say, hey, like, if you're doing it, then I can do it. They just tried to have you in their life while they stayed connected to these people because they don't really know how to break away, what their life is going to really look like when they break away, if they broke away. But they're going to break away now. But at the time, they were terrified. So, like I said, you not sticking around was the best thing. Even if you choose not to be with this person, you're going to leave this person better than how you found them because they're stepping into their independence. They're stepping in, they'll be able to really become their true self without dead weight hanging off of them, even if you weren't to be with them. And that's what spirit was like. I don't care whether you want to be with them or not. They need to evolve. They want to evolve. They don't know how to get out of it. But the truth of the matter is, unconditional love makes us do what we normally wouldn't do. It's like we all of a sudden have supernatural powers. It's not that we have supernatural powers, it's that we don't have fear anymore. And again, so again, the unconditional love that they have for you is actually what is the catalyst to make them heal. And it is because it's pushing them to say, hey, wait a minute. I'm the person. It's my own thoughts. It's my own thoughts that are creating my reality. These people are influencing me, but why am I allowing it? It's me. I'm the one that's in control, which is, by the way, the greatest fear of these people because they're like, oh no, we just spent so much time in making it like your life is mine, by guilting you, manipulating you, gaslighting you, doing whatever we need to do again in order to create it. And I feel like there's one main person, and again, I believe that that's the karmic, and everybody else is like, benefits from whatever it is to have this person stay put. So they're like, no. And so the answer is that spirit says, the calm, I breathe, live, and grow the light within me. I do one thing at a time and focus on the present moment. I cast off my doubts, all fears dissipates, and I find peace in my being. So I feel like during this time, spirit says this person needs to work through their stuff. They're figuring it out. But you need to stay in the calm and continue to grow. And being in the calm means that you're at ease, that you're not getting caught up in this person's drama, because there's going to be a bit of drama when this person leaves a bunch of, karmic people or that karmic person. It's just because they're on a lower vibration. They put a lot of energy and effort into keeping your person stuck. Your person is becoming unstuck. So spirit saying you need to again cast off all doubt and just be grounded, be in the moment, put your energy into yourself, put your energy again still by nurturing yourself, becoming yourself, growing yourself, and I promise you all fear will dissipate because you will become the vibration of unconditional love, and that's when you'll find peace in your being, because it's not about what this person does, what they don't do, how fast they come back. When they come back, they're going to come back, but they might take a long time because they're not exactly the wisest, emotionally intelligent person. They might be very smart when it comes to book smart, but again, not very emotionally intelligent. It's again, took them a lot of time to finally understand what was going on in their own life by the people that were surrounding them. So you don't want to get caught up in that. It's more about finding peace within your own being, becoming strong within yourself, because it's not about this person being strong, it's about you being strong. And that's why it's almost like you're almost have an older energy, even if you're not. I just feel like you're more mature, you're more spiritually evolved. So what you're bringing to the table is that you're teaching this person spiritually how to be in alignment with the laws of love, because this person was not. They were again conducting their lives from the ego, and spirit was saying that's not really what you want to do. And they're like, no, but I feel like I have to. And so spirit says, well, I believe that it's time to surrender your ego and figure things out, what it is that you really want for yourself. And this person is doing it, they're figuring it out, but in that time it's all about you creating yourself in that space, right? In that open space, you have so much time to create and find yourself. And it's not space of loneliness, it's more about a space of nurturing yourself. So you again can teach this person how you want to be treated. It's also to make sure that you're really putting your time where you want to see an investment come back to you that's going to help you create yourself even more, because it's again you becoming the best version of yourself. Because I'm kind of feeling as if you're the role model for this person, and it doesn't mean that this person is not bringing anything to the relationship either. I just don't feel like it's these gifts. These are your gifts that you're giving. And it's possibly because spirit says, well, you get to heal yourself by seeing a different version of yourself. And that heals your trauma. And so not all the time, like I said, are we getting equal to equal. We get equal in areas that we tend to lack, and vice versa. So I'm going to leave that there, Scorpio. You let me know how you resonated, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you. Bye.